Yeah, you're probably bored of me saying it, guys, but I really do think I want to crack on with this now. This is pack 12 we're on. This week I've just had delivered pack 19, but due to high demand of this build, there's some parts. I took the camera off the tripod so I can just show you freehand how that's looking on the jig. Just put these into these holes here. Now you may want to use tweezers for these, just get into the tight parts like that. 11, going to glue underneath. That's just going into that recess there. Welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're all doing good, guys. Hope you're all well. Happy May the 4th. You know what I'm about, Star Wars Day, guys. And today I'm building issue 53 of the build of Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. So if you're not already, guys, remember to subscribe, like, also comment, share, press that bell notification. You'll always be notified every time I put something up on the channel, whether it's the Millennium Falcon or any other model build I'm doing at this present time. So without further ado, guys, let's crack on. Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. Okay then, guys, so welcome back. I'm not going to dilly-dally about it today, guys. We're going to crack on. This is a big issue this week, issue 53, and May the 4th be with you. I had to say, guys. Anyway, look through the mag, issue 53. Let's take a quick browse, see what's going on. As usual, guys, you've got the usual brilliant content that you expect from these magazines. Beautiful pictures and some good info. Here's the parts which we'll go through in a minute. This is what we're doing first of all, assembling the top frames. It's continuing from last week, and then we're also using the assembly jig. So yeah, more jig coming back into this like we did with the bottom frames. Now we're doing it with the top frames, and then we're going to be assembling the recess, which is going to be after using my sprue cutters, which I'm happy to do. And then there's going to be a lot of, as you can see here, little pieces going into the recess, so cut them off and gluing on, things like that. And there's a lot of instructions in that one section of this week's mag. As you can see, we've got 16 instructions just alone in that one. So yeah, as I say, I'm going to crack on, bring the parts over and see what we've got. Right, so here's the bag of goodies. Let's get those cut open. If you're a Star Wars fan, which I hope you am, if you're watching this, guys, I do hope you're enjoying May the 4th. May the 4th with you. Oh, that's a little gimmick. Got that. If you've not gathered already, May the 4th with you, etc. Yeah, you've got it. Right, so that bag's all empty. And what we've got here, guys, as you can see, we've got some parts on that sprue. Some more parts on here. And there's the recess, which is plastic. And we've got some more framework for the top frame. And of course, as you can see here, we've got some more of the jig to assemble. Then we've got some connectors, a 2-way and a 4-way connector. So I'm going to put those to one side, get myself sorted out, and then we'll crack on with the first part of this week's issue. So I've brought all the parts over we need, and what we're going to do is get them attached to the rest of the frame. So instruction 1, what it's telling us to do is take hold of this piece here and we want to get a two-way connector and attach it to that part of the frame just there. So I'll just get my pillbox I've got here, get this put together. Just line that up, guys, and screw that together. So yeah, that's the two-way connector now attached. And then instruction 2, what we're going to do then is get a four-way connector and put this on TF15 also, which is the part we did last week. I was just looking then, guys. So basically the four-way connector is going to be going on that piece there, part of the frame we'd already assembled from the past week. So let's get another 2 black screws. Get that attached. I'm going to twist this around a sec, guys, just so I've got a better angle. So there's the first one. And I'll put the second one in, and then we'll go into instruction 3. So now what we're going to do, guys, is take TF17 framework and TF18, and these are going to be going together like so. So yeah, you've got it. Got to get another two-way adapter. Just use my tweezers to get these out my pillbox a lot easier. I've already got one here, I've just noticed. Here. And then again, get 2 black screws, guys, and get this two-way, I think I just said adapter, connector. You know what I'm on about, guys. Yeah, it's been a very busy week for me personally. I won't go into details, but yeah, I've just been very busy, guys, and hence the reason why I've not been posting. But to be fair, I'm just trying not to get stressed out about it. I'm just going to post when I post, do what I do, and hopefully people will watch. If they don't, at least I'm getting good feelings about what I'm doing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm just going to do what I do, guys. Not panic about how many videos I'm doing here, how many I've got to get out, when I've got to get them out. It's just too stressful, guys. It is really just too stressful having to worry about getting videos out at certain times. So we've now put the connector on TF17, which is this frame here. And now what we want to do is bring over to F18, which takes all the way to instruction 5, and we want to apply this. Let me just look at this here, to there like that. So that's going to fit flush onto TF17. So we've got TF18 and 17 together. Yeah, if you stress about things too much, guys, things go wrong. And to be fair, I'm doing this because it makes me happy. So what I'm going to do, as I say, I'm just going to do a video when I can do them, post it, edit it, put it up, not in that order, whenever I can do them, and just enjoy doing what I'm doing, and just don't get in that trap, don't get in that trap, I should say, of being that commitment where I've got to get them done at a certain time, if that makes sense, because it just gets too stressful when you put too much stress on yourself. And I'll be the first to say, I do put too much pressure on myself sometimes, guys, I really do, to get things out and get a certain amount of videos. So yeah, I'm just going to do what I do, guys. So just sit back, relax, enjoy my videos, enjoy. But anyway, something going on. That's how that's looking at the end of instruction 6. So as I just turn the instructions over, what we're doing then, bring the framework we've already assembled, and yeah, we're going to be applying that together like that with the two-way connector there and the four-way connector there. So this is the pillbox I'm on about with all my screws in. Great little gimmicky thing this is, guys. You don't get losing screws, etc. So it's a pretty cool thing to have if you're doing this build. So if I just put that like that and get this one in. Yeah, so the next 2 screws will go in this four-way connector here, and then that will be it for this week for assembling top frames. So I'll get that done and we'll move on to the next part of this week's issue. So yeah, that's how that's looking at the minute. This is all the framework which we've done in the past issues, in the past weeks. Now what we're going to do in this part of the video is get the assembly jig so this can rest on the assembly jig. Now we've got 3 pieces to put together, so I'm going to get them, guys. So guys, we've got 3 parts of the assembly jig. This one, middle one, and also this one to the left. So I'll just do a piece at a time as it's a bit big. It's the only one shot. I could move the camera, but I'm not going to need to do it this way. So you've seen this before. All you do, you kind of go from the top or the bottom, sway that to like that, and that is those 2 pieces fitted. And then we do the same again with this part here. I mean, I've done it the top way. You could go from, I've done the bottom way, this is the top way. There you go. That's how that's looking. Bit noisy, sorry about that. That's how it's looking at the minute. What I'll do is I'll rest the frame on. You're not going to see it all obviously in one shot, but stay tuned to the end, guys. I can show you how this is looking from the end shot. So if I just get the framework over we've been working on. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to take this part off soon, because it might get in the way of the jig. We'll soon find out. So now this needs to go. Oh, it should be alright. It's just like that. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do is do a quick shot now of it, and then we'll move on to the next part of this week's video, guys, of assembling the recess. Yeah, there we have it. I've took the camera off the tripod so I can just show you freehand how that's looking on the jig. And this is really going, it's going now, guys. This build is going along pretty quick. Obviously, before long we'll be putting the rest of the jig around here, and it will be looking, I'm going to show you a quick insight to how the other one is here. Obviously the hatch shouldn't be on there. Okay, this is behind the scenes, guys, but there you have it. The lighting's a bit dull there because it's to the left of the lights, but you get the picture. And there's all my videos for the next couple of weeks. We've got some charges. Yeah, that's all you need to know. To catch you over there. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. I'm going off piece now, and now still go to the video what we're doing now. This is what we're doing next. Assembling the recess. But yeah, that's how that's looking on the jig. So let's crack on, moving on to assembling the recess. Right, for now then, guys, this is what we're using in instruction 1, and going forward we've got the actual casing here, which is the recess they're putting this down as. Let me just double check that's the right word for it. Yeah, this is called the recess. This is plastic. This is where all the plant-on details are going to go, and it's looking like we're using this selection of goodies off the sprue. And guess what, guys, I'm having to use my new sprue cutters, which I've not used a lot, but I'm sure I'm going to use them the next couple of weeks. And I've also got a nail file, which just basically sands off the little bits, rough edges. So anyway, let's crack on. The first part we're going to take off is this part. This is instruction 1, removing detail 1 from the sprue. I'm just looking to see if there's a number, just so I can help you guys if you're doing this with me, so you know where you're looking. You know what, I'm not sure there's any numbers on the sprue, but if you look at the instructions, guys, if you follow this, you know what I mean. It does show you exactly where you're taking off the screw if it's a bit odd to fathom out what piece, which piece it is. Yeah, here we go, using my sprue cutters, which are fab, love them. Right, so that's cut off. Now you can see these sprue cutters are pretty cool, guys. You can sand it down a bit if you need to, if you've got any rough edges. But they are pretty cool for cutting. As you can see, there's no rough edges now. And if I do detail these, weather them, you're not going to see anything, as long as there's been these little white marks here, they'll disappear once being weathered. So instruction 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that way around. That's how it should be looking as you're looking at your desk. I'm doing it back to front, but there, I'm going to have to deal with that. It's part of YouTubing. And then what we're going to do as part of instruction 2 is now glue these two big pieces here. Now I'll do a dry fit first. They're going to be fitting together like so. So I'll get my glue. There we go. And then we'll get these put in. So what I'm going to do is just put a tiny bit of glue on these pins. And that is how we're looking so far, guys, up to instruction 4 with those pieces fitted. And now what we're going to do for instruction 5 is now apply this little piece here. So we'll put some glue on these pins. Just a little bit will do. And then what we're going to do is put these into these holes here. Now you may want to use tweezers for these, just to get into the tight parts. Like that. Give that a couple of seconds to dry. And then we're going on to instruction 6. So I'll put that to one side while it's drying. We're going to take off number 5, this piece here. So if we just cut that with the sprue cutters. Check we need to sand a little bit down just so it's nice and smooth, no edges. Bring the part back over the recess. And you've got 2 little pins here, guys, we're going to be gluing. Basically we're going to have to put them in these 2 holes there. Now apply some glue to these pins. And put it this way around. Push them into little recesses like so. Give that a few seconds to dry. That's how that's looking. And that takes us to instruction 7. Now we need to take detail 6. This part here, guys. Again, sand any rough edges you've got. It's looking pretty good. There we go. Bring the recess over. As I'm looking at it, what we want is this going in there like that. So again, glue these 2 little circular holes and drop into those recesses like so. And so that's looking. Actually, they're in the holes. That's pretty cool. Detail on that's looking pretty cool if I do say so. So that takes us to instruction 7, all done. Again, sand any rough edges down. Push those in there. That's how that's looking. Look at that. Ain't that looking cool? It's mad how these little plant-on details pop once they're all in. I love it. This little piece here. More glue to those little pins. Pop it in to those 2 holes there. That's how that's looking. At the end of instruction 9. And now for instruction 10, we now want to be applying detail 9 over detail 5, which is just in that corner there. So what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of glue. We get there. So I'll just clip that over that little rectangular shape. I think that's right. Yeah, and then you've got it like risen a little bit. I'll show you that there. That's how that's looking. A bit worried about that, it's a bit wobbly. We'll see how we go. If it comes out, I'll glue it in some more. We might be alright, but that's that 3D effect look. That doesn't go right down, that just rests on there, glued on. But you can see it risen up a bit. Doesn't that look cool? I love that. So yeah, here's detail 10. We're going to be putting that just in that hole there. Make that one click. That's how that's looking. So excited, guys. This looks brilliant. Look at that. I will show you an outro shot at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. That's looking pretty cool. So yeah, here's detail 11. I'm going to glue underneath. Nice. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Love it. It's like a pair of binoculars or something. So let's get that cut off, and we've only got 2 more to fit then, guys. And that is it for this week's issue. Pretty busy, but again, pretty cool. Loved it. Real time, this probably took me about an hour and 15. And then you want these little 2 circular things facing into the recess inwards. And this is very tricky here because it's very thin, so you might want to use your tweezers just to get it placed in. Line it up, perhaps hold it there for a couple of seconds till your super glue sets, and then that's how it's going to be looking. A bit to the left, that bit. There you go. There you go, look at that. Love it. And second from last, we went to detail 14. Let's cut that off. I've enjoyed using my sprue cutters this week, guys. Bought these months ago and I've not really used them, but I knew it was coming with this build, and I'm sure I'm going to be using them a lot more. Not a lot to sand off on that. Right, so now what I'm doing, guys, I'm taking this part off here. You've got it. We've got to glue it. And we've got to place that into that little recess there. So what I'll do is get my tweezers, line it up. There you go. And then that'll glue into there, be dry. What I'm going to do then is place this printer looking thing into that little hole there. What I'm going to do is apply some glue in there. Do plenty. And drop that in. Yeah, definitely need your tweezers for this part, guys, unless you've got very thin fingers and you can get yourself in there. Applying a bit more glue there, guys, because I think it's not even touching the piece. That's how it's going to look. Give that a couple of seconds to dry. There you go. Look at that. So we've just attached that piece, that detail there, and that detail there. And then now we're going to the last instruction of the day, guys, of this video. And it's detail 15. Check before you cut in case you go ahead of yourself, and like, for example, cutting that fine detail off there would be a bit drastic. You don't want to be doing that. It's going to affect how your model's looking. So if I turn that recess around, and what I want to do, if you've got little, if you can see that little pin there, that's going to be going into that hole just there. So for the final time today, get a bit of glue on that pin, place that into there, give that a couple of seconds to dry, and guys, that is it. Look at that. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I will give you a little outro of that. That's looking amazing. Busy issue today, guys. Do hope you enjoyed it. Give us a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're not done already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. And that is it for the Millennium Falcon this week, guys. Pretty busy issue. What from doing more of the top frames, assembling the jig, and also putting loads of little add-on parts to the recess. So yeah, it's a pretty big issue this week, guys. Pretty big video. Do appreciate all your support, guys. Thanks for watching. Come back next time. Remember to give us a big thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. Have a good bank holiday if you're not working or anything like that. But happy May the 4th, guys. And enjoy watching any Star Wars film today. It's got to be done on the May the 4th. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go, guys. Take care. Peace.